Have you ever felt like you'd worked so hard but still not been able to get what you really wanted? Have you ever thought about why your hard work doesn't always pay off? We often blame time and circumstances. The real question isn't what's stopping you from achieving your goals. It's something within you. Stoicism, a practice that has been around for hundreds of years, doesn't just inspire us. It teaches us that every big achievement starts with a series of small, steady steps. Constant discipline. Discipline serves as the bridge between desire and action. Achieving goals isn't a luxury for the lucky few. It's a skill. You can grow more than that. It's the key to controlling your life. I'm not just going to give you theory. I'm also going to give you a set of useful lessons shaped by real life. Having lived these values has changed my life and the lives of many others. Pay close attention to this and don't miss a single detail. You can start living the life you've always dreamed of right now. Once you understand this practice, you can start immediately. Let's begin this journey. First, learn and grow from it. Self-education. As you journey through life, you may discover that it's not random events that bring about progress, but the ceaseless pursuit. To become calm, we must understand that discipline is more than just a tool. The basis for all growth is discipline. Without it, all efforts fade away like small waves. Epictetus once said that it is impossible for a man to drown in the sea. Only if you are humble enough to understand what he believes he already knows can you learn it. You can only change if you admit your mistakes and learn something new every day. You once believed that significant external factors would initiate change, an unexpected opportunity, a sage mentor, or a dash of luck. Despite my luck, life has taught me an important lesson. Our actions do not determine the outcome. We can't change, but we can start by learning to look inside ourselves, accept our flaws, and promise to make things better little by little. We tend not to change just because the world does. We've evolved, becoming stronger, more resilient, and more focused to be able to lead ourselves. We cannot wait. We must act immediately. We find our true strength in our ability to transform ourselves. The most effective thing we can do for others is to transform ourselves. Learning is never easy, but consider a young person who is eager to learn. When they first start to learn a new language, their drive and excitement may get them far. But soon, they will face challenges such as difficult spelling and a vast vocabulary. People who are afraid to speak out or lack control will quickly become tired and give up. If they maintain a calm attitude, they will understand that these problems are an inevitable part of the journey. Marcus Aurelius once stated that obstacles prevent something from becoming what it is. Failure is not a reason to give up. It is a test that makes us better. It will happen, but how we as kids react and learn from it matters. I know a business owner named Brian who started his company with a lot of passion. Brian could have said that he failed because he didn't know enough about money. Instead of giving up on his dream, Brian faced his mistake. Stakes head-on, took financial classes, and learned from teachers with a lot of experience. 2 years later, Brian made another attempt and his new business flourished. Epictetus focused on problem-solving because he had learned important lessons from his first loss. Mistakes don't make you weaker. They reveal who you really are. We can't know everything on our own. Seneca wrote, "While we teach, we must also learn from others." We can learn from great people whose stories demonstrate the power of control and willpower, and individuals who have failed and left scars on their bodies serve as examples of what not to do. Michael Jordan, for example, once said, "I've lost nearly 300 games, but 26 times I've had the opportunity to win." How they learn is what makes them different and rise again. Learning does that. It doesn't have to be big. It can start with little things like, every day, I read a few pages of a book and write down important lessons. Now is the time to reflect on what has happened. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "When an external force inflicts harm on an individual, it's not the object itself that causes the pain. You can think about it and change your mind at any time. For now, the issues we're facing with learning are simply perceptions. If you confront it and take action, everything will transform. A busy person might think that if you lack the time to learn, dedicating 15 minutes a day can help you develop a new skill. You can see progress in a skill after a few weeks. Progress does not lie in the quantity, but in the consistency of one's actions. Have you ever asked yourself, have I learned anything today? If not, maybe it's time to stop and think about it. Think about the last time you failed and don't dwell on it. Instead, ask yourself what you can learn from it. Asking ourselves a question that propels us forward, even if it's just a little, is an important step in learning. Understanding that sometimes small steps can lead to significant progress is an important step in learning. Everyday gains add up to huge results that often go unnoticed. The power of small habits. The average person might not understand that writing is important, but they will be able to think more clearly over time if they do important things every night. A worker might not believe that becoming more skilled every month will make a big difference in their job in a few years, but it will. If you're being honest, every little thing you do adds up to a big change in your life. Stoicism tells us that the only way to change is to keep learning new things. If you want to live a positive life, you should keep learning how to live. Learning not only aids in completing tasks, but also enhances our self-awareness and promotes personal growth. By learning on our own, we can build upon our existing knowledge for personal growth. The guiding principle is not a short-term goal, but a commitment to life discipline. To overcome obstacles and achieve our goals, we don't need to alter the world. This is the message. You can change a little every day. Stoicism only teaches you when you're willing to live a disciplined life full of learning all the time. Will you really understand how powerful the human spirit is? The second thing you should do is set goals that will help you learn. We need a lighthouse to guide us through the confusing and pointless journey of self-development. After all, making goals is how you make your future happen. Clear goals help you see where you're going and motivate you to do well in every lesson. Every step is important on this trip. Once again, discipline is required. It not only aids in learning but also aids in focusing your energy. What truly matters, according to Epictetus, is the initial step. Find out what kind of person you want to be and then work toward that. This lesson teaches us that in order to be the best versions of ourselves, we need to, before we can set a goal, we need to have a clear picture of what it is we want to achieve. Drawing a rough picture of the future is about making a promise to yourself. Here's what I desire and how I'm prepared to achieve it. Imagine you want to get better. If you want to improve your health but keep putting off exercise, set a clear goal such as, I will run. Running 3 kilometers every morning changes everything because it forces you to set goals instead of becoming lost in thought, which is the light that guides us. Marcus Aurelius wrote that people should follow rules because people who work hard their whole lives but don't have anything they want to focus on are wasting their time. Imagine driving a car without a place to go, even when you're busy at work. Where would you go, and how much gas would you waste? Having a goal motivates you to work hard every morning and to persevere even when you're tired and everything seems to be against you, as no matter how hard you try, you can't reach your goal. When we have a clear goal, the work we do is just a waste of time. Jim was a renowned speaker. Someone once said that there is a cost to every promise. If the promise is clear, when you can envision the future you desire, it becomes easier to bear the associated costs. In order for it to be worthwhile, an office worker might feel they're exhausted after a long day, but if they understand that their hard work is bringing them closer, they'll have the drive to keep going until they reach their goal of becoming a boss. The cost of time, effort, or comfort will no longer seem so high. Stoicism shows us how to deal with heavy things once we know where they're taking us. Clarity and calmness are important when setting goals. A goal must come first. A vague goal such as, I want to succeed, can quickly fade if you're not clear about what you want. Instead, when you face your first challenge, ask yourself, what does success mean? It could mean different things to different people. Having a clear goal not only helps you reach your desired destination, but it also gives you a crucial reason to persevere. Also, your goals should be measurable. Let's say you want to get healthier, but aren't sure what better means. If you set a clear goal, like, I will run 5 kilometers in 30 minutes in the next 3 months, you've given yourself a clear way to track your progress. Having clear standards doesn't only help you keep track of your progress, but it also keeps you going when it feels like you're getting closer to your goal. A beneficial goal should also be one that is both difficult and achievable. A goal that is too far away may make you give up, while a goal that is overly simplistic won't encourage personal growth. The key is to find balance and set a goal that pushes you beyond your limits, but it's still achievable if you put in the necessary effort. More importantly, a goal should align with your personal values. As Epictetus said, don't just talk about your theory, live it. Setting a big goal shows who you are and what you believe in. If your goal doesn't align with love and the kind of life you want to lead, it will become a burden instead of a source of drive. For example, you may want to get a promotion at work, but if that means giving up valuable time with your family, is that goal really worth going after? Your goals provide you with direction and define who you are. It's not because things are difficult that we don't dare. It's because we dare not assert that goals are insurmountable, so they remain flexible. When you set a goal, it pushes you to surpass your own expectations and resist short-term temptations. To achieve what you truly desire, remember that a goal is more than just beyond the goal you reach. It's the path that makes you a better person. Take today to think about what you really want out of life and write it down. Write down detailed plans and let discipline and stoicism lead you. It helps us understand that discipline is the key to all success. Embrace the great values in life. Let me know in the comments if you plan to stick to the goal. If you truly hold this profound understanding, it's not just about writing it down. Expressing yourself is about feeling how strong your resolve is and what the road you are on means to you. Starting now, let's move on to the next lesson. Take small steps every day. Setting goals is a beneficial idea. Regardless of their clarity or size, goals remain the same without any action to support them. This is where we come in. It's not about big moves or amazing leaps that change people for the better. Small, steady steps taken every single day are what move us forward. Even if you have a great goal, it will remain unfinished if you don't take action. Now let's examine how these small, consistent actions can result in significant changes. Change your life, even if the little things seem unimportant at first. First glances are the building blocks of great things. Imagine a river. It doesn't. Large rocks can be broken with a single powerful blow, but it takes time for many drops of water to fall slowly and steadily, slowly wearing away the stone over time. Those drips might not show up right away. At first, the results may seem insignificant, but over time, they undergo remarkable transformations, transforming the seemingly impossible into reality. It requires self-control to move slowly and quietly, without rushing or making a lot of noise, as Epictetus once stated. If you express a desire for a fig, I will grant your wish. A fig tree requires ample time to blossom and bear fruit. To ripen like a fig tree, we must begin with the smallest steps, which may not seem significant at first, but over time, these small actions accumulate significant power, leading you to success you never thought possible, like a river slowing down. It's these small acts repeated over and over that make carving through rock possible. No matter how small the gap between thought and reality, miracles happen all the time. In fact, a person can have numerous ideas about how to improve their life, but nothing will change unless they take action. It will always be a dream, as Marcus Aurelius said, so stop fighting now. We don't need to debate the qualities of a decent man. That's right. We need to start doing it. Let's take an example where you want to stop a specific activity. Instead of putting it off, one morning you decide to wake up 10 minutes earlier to go for a walk. This small change, even if it doesn't completely transform your life, is the first step towards a new way of living. These actions immediately support and motivate you to keep moving forward. Inspiration is fundamentally rooted in self-discipline, yet even the smallest actions can have a significant impact. Often, We face challenges not because we lack knowledge, but because we fear failure. However, once we take action, even if it's as simple as tidying up your desk or completing a small task, the fear gradually dissipates. Ask yourself if you don't do anything, things won't get better, or at least those small steps won't help today. This will assist you in achieving your goals. Self-discipline is not something to just talk about. It has to become a habit, even if it's just a small one, like spending 10 minutes. Making it a habit to take a few minutes in the morning to plan your day can transform how you use your time. In your life, you will be responsible for managing your time, chores, and even your finances. Self-discipline helps us keep our feelings in check, even though we can't change everything that happens around us. When we look at real life, we can see how internal factors help us build the life we want. There are stories of people who have done well and saved a small amount of food. People who give money every day can look back in a year and see a sum that is bigger than they thought. Have you ever thought that a student who learns a little every day will learn a huge amount? An athlete doesn't start by running a race. They start by taking small steps. Small actions, such as walking on a path near their home, contribute significantly to a life filled with significant events. These small actions are what shape us, and self-discipline guides us towards our most ambitious goals. When you set goals, ask yourself, who will you be a year from now if you start acting today? Now, what will you lose if you don't take action? Start with the smallest action today, as it will serve as the initial step towards creating the life you desire. Self-discipline will be your constant friend and the key that lets you in. Don't wait. Start today, even if it's just one step. Those little steps will add up to something. Miracle number 4. Do your best and don't do anything, no matter what. You never truly lose something, no matter how small, if you don't do it. In order to make real change, we need more than just a start. Constant dedication and hard work are necessary if we only complete tasks to tick them off the list. If we just check a box to say we've begun, can we really say we've made value? Taking action is important, but it's not enough to just move forward. We must always try our best at everything we do. This not only demonstrates our commitment, but also expresses our appreciation for the time and effort we invest. Like an artist, we have meticulously crafted each detail, regardless of its size, with love and care, because every little thing makes a difference. You've done a great job, and now the real question isn't, am I doing anything? But rather, am I dedicating my entire being to this? This is the shift that transforms action into an art form. Marcus Aurelius wrote that you have power over many things. Your mind, not what's happening outside of you, is what matters. Understand this, and you will have strength. If you keep your mind on the things you can control, all of your hard work will pay off in the long run. On a long, tiring day when you feel like you're about to burn out, will you stop and give up? Or will you push a little further and take one more step to get through it? Doing your best means giving your all, not being perfect. Even when it seems like everything is against you, it's actually in your favor. When it seems like everything is against you, it's challenging to do your best. This serves as the clearest indication that your inner strength and discipline come from within, not from external sources. It's the silent voice within that tells you that no matter how hard you strive, no matter how small, as long as you keep going, even with this small step, you're communicating to everyone, but primarily to yourself. They don't pay attention when the pain starts and every breath is hard. It's not about being perfect, but about being firm. Make a commitment to persevere through challenging times. Things in life are pretty much the same. There are days when the stresses of work, family, or unrealized dreams can make you feel old. However, if you complete a small task quickly, write one line in your journal. Are you prepared to formulate a strategy, or simply begin working? You're one step closer to your goal. Making the choice not to hit snooze for 10 more minutes is a small step toward control. Make the minute choice to walk instead of sitting still or doing something hard. Seneca once advocated facing each new beginning with bravery, rather than avoiding it. It comes from the end of another beginning. Every small step and attempt is a seed. You can cultivate a fresh start by consistently planting those seeds, even in the smallest tasks you undertake. You are taking steps towards a better life, but the motivation behind your actions is not the only factor. Have you ever asked yourself, if I put my whole heart into this, what would happen? Perhaps it's as simple as cleaning up. The room may be messy, but with hard work, it can become not only clean but also tidy. When a man writes, it not only clears your mind but also restores organization. He is writing a letter to his mother after months of not doing so. Not only is he accomplishing a minor task, but he is also re-establishing contact with his mother, demonstrating how being fully present can transform both the present and the future. Stoicism teaches us that our feelings, if we let them, can change both. Not quickly turned into action fade. Set clear goals and start taking action. Take care of your health today while the urge is still strong. Don't wait until tomorrow. To work out or eat better, start today with even the smallest step. If you maintain this feeling through action, it will transform into a benefit. You may sense that the small actions propel you forward in your journey. The little things you do don't really matter, but ask yourself if you make a list of the things you know you need before you start. I am prepared to take action, but I have been putting it off. I need to make a call, complete an exercise, or simply express gratitude to others on a regular basis, which can accumulate over time. Number 5. Focus and steer clear of distractions when you're fully committed to achieving your full potential. You understand that success isn't just about performing well, it's also about facing the ultimate challenge, managing distractions effectively. This isn't due to a lack of talent, but rather to the tendency of allowing minor distractions to cloud one's focus, leading to a gradual loss of focus. Overcoming distractions is the key to making a change. These quick gratifications can easily ensnare you, leaving you unaware of your progress. Success, mental peace, and personal growth are not instantaneous. Take time, patience, and discipline. It's in the quiet times that we slowly work through each minor issue as we establish the foundation for a lasting solution. Accomplishments. Picture this. Imagine yourself sitting at your desk right now, your mind filled with accomplishments. Instead of working with goss, you pull out your phone and begin scrolling through it. Go through pointless videos for an hour, then 2, and you're done. A sense of sadness and emptiness begins to set in because the work isn't yet complete. What distractions cost you? They take more than your time. They take away your life. You possess self-assurance, determination, and drive. Be aware that even seemingly insignificant decisions can have significant consequences and the major effects of getting rid of distractions. You need to manage your thoughts and focus on what's important. You need to learn how to let go of things that don't matter, no matter what. It might be tempting, but picture yourself working in a quiet place without your phone. Spend some time in a setting devoid of notifications or other distractions. If you dedicate some time to it on a daily basis, you will start to perceive its influence. Pay close attention to these minor details. They will influence your actions. Marcus Aurelius once said, "Do every act of your life as if it were the very last act of your life." In real life, every deed, no matter how small, has the power to change your life. A writer might start a book with 1 sentence a day. Any messy brushstroke can be beautiful. The technique is irrelevant. But if you're not sure if you can handle the trip, ask yourself what you have done. Take action today to move closer to your dream. Those little regular steps will lead to amazing results. Your environment significantly influences your ability to maintain discipline. If you're in a place with lots of distractions, it can be challenging to stay focused. Turn off unwanted notifications, make it simple to close tabs that aren't important, and make your computer more peaceful. It's crucial to create a space where you can focus on your work and the individuals you hold dear. The individuals you interact with on a daily basis have the power to shape your thoughts, actions, and even your aspirations. If you find yourself drifting in the same direction, seek out positive connections. When you strive to be the best version of yourself, Discipline is not something you do. It's a habit, a guide to only practice when you feel like it. Every morning you make your bed, not just because it's there, not just something to do. It sets the tone for the day and helps you stay on track. As Epictetus said in other parts of his life, "No man is free who is not master of himself." You are truly free when you master yourself, which includes getting over the temptation to be lazy and do something else. Imagining someone who trains every day, regardless of their busy schedules or emotional state. Sticking to a plan like this not only helps your health, but it also makes you more disciplined, which spreads throughout your life. You can choose between two prices in every aspect of your life: discipline or the price of regret. Discipline means giving up pleasures for a short time, but it brings, on the other hand, guilt, which is what you pay for happiness, success, and meaning. When you allow distractions to take control, time passes without accomplishing anything. Importantly, getting past distractions isn't a one-day job. It's a lifelong process. Both external and internal temptations are battling your mind, but if you don't give up, you will find strength in your resolve. Remember, every minute you spend concentrating today is a small but sure step. Don't let anything get in the way of building a future you'll be proud of. Take your life back and let discipline be the light that leads you to your dreams. You deserve. We recently discussed 5 effective strategies for transforming discipline. You need what you need to live a meaningful and happy life. It is important to engage in self-education, set goals, and consistently perform the same task each day. These all emphasize the importance of making the most out of what you have and ignoring distractions. Discipline isn't just a tool, it's a friend who helps you find your way. Stoicism tells us that there are no magic tricks that can make things better. Without the strength of self-discipline and persistence, goals can't come true. If you found this video helpful, you have the power to do it every day. If you found this helpful and haven't yet clicked like, please do so now. If you liked the content, please let us know what you think in the comments. Share this video with your friends and family to hear your thoughts on today's subject. Share the value and, most importantly, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. More amazing videos are on the way. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon. The next video will be up soon.